27th, today on Your Morning Atlantic, weather woes for a second day in a row. Snowfall continues in our region, making for tricky driving conditions and cancellations. Your top news headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And International Holocaust Remembrance Day. We'll speak with the past president of the Atlantic Jewish Council about the day and why it's still so important to honor the victims. That's in our second hour.
Plus, living more simply. We'll meet an entrepreneur and content creator whose no spend challenge may be the inspiration you need to reset your relationship with money and consumerism. That's in our second hour. All that and so much more coming up on the Tuesday edition of CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Come on in, 6:01 on this Tuesday, January 27th. You maybe are staying put for yet another day because you're snowed in. I love the banner that you used, Amanda. Still snowing.
Yes. I thought, how could I just summarize what the news headline is?
Perfect.
It is still snowing.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And we'll get into the details of all of that implies in a second. If you watched the show yesterday, you're not surprised to see Brianne Foley sitting here. Latavia's had no voice left.
Poor thing. But I'm happy to be inside today. I mean, I loved being outside in the elements and bringing you guys the weather, but it's nice to also be inside.
Listen,
we're thrilled to have you.
Especially when the weather is continuing for a second day in a row. So it's at this hour that the cancellations are just starting to come in. I can tell you, for at least the Halifax area, no school today. Second snow day in a row for students in the Halifax area.
The double diamond, if you will.
The double diamond.
That extra long weekend, we love that for them.
Yes.
For them.
For them, yeah. We're here, of course. We don't get a snow day, which is fine, you know. But if you do have to get out on the roads today, it is slippery. I don't know if you guys noticed that this morning when you were getting into your cars, and just like the extra scrubbing on the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's real. It's really happening.
And should point out too, the New Brunswick government saying that, as you can see here in Fredericton, roads still snow covered, still icy.
Yeah, so take your time if you have to go out. If you can have a snow day, well, just take another snow day.
Take it. It helps others, yeah.
Absolutely. So if you can stay home today, do stay home because, again, those conditions out there aren't the greatest. Although it's not as cold in the Maritimes, we are seeing an extreme cold in Labrador. So that's going to continue throughout the course of today. As we take a look here at the wind chill factors, though, it's feeling colder than what those numbers are saying. So again, if you do have to get out and about, if you're scrubbing your car this morning, make sure you put gloves on because I didn't, and it really hurt this morning for my hands. But as we continue to take a look at the wind chill there, you are seeing those numbers looking higher than what we're feeling. Of course, we do have a weather statement, so prolonged snowfall and some blowing snow in parts of New Brunswick as well as into parts of Prince Edward Island for this morning. And then we still have a couple of yellow alerts in effect. So yes, we do have some additional snowfall coming through as we head throughout the morning. That's going to hang around into the early afternoon, a little bit longer into parts of Prince Edward Island, or into parts of Cape Breton Island rather, as well as Prince Edward Island. We could see winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour as we head into the early afternoon before things start to taper down. And we do have some more watches in, yellow alerts in Newfoundland and Labrador, a wind chill factor. We did see those wind chill numbers. We have a blowing snow advisory, and we have another snowfall advisory, so up to 25 centimeters of snowfall into tonight. And then we do have a winter storm warning in effect as well for most of Newfoundland for today. Now, we do have an orange level alert of cold for parts of Labrador, so that's Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls and Churchill Valley. So we could see those wind chill values between -40 and -46. So if you do have to get out and about today, just make sure you are bundling up. But we'll have more on your weather later. For now, let's head over to Amanda for a look at news.
Thank you, Brianne. And the weather is making news this morning. Driving remains tricky this hour as this slow-moving nor'easter continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. Here's a look at conditions in Dartmouth this morning. Environment Canada has all of Nova Scotia under that yellow snowfall warning, which could see an additional 2 to 15 centimeters of snow this morning. Southern New Brunswick and eastern PEI could see up to 2 to 5 centimeters of snow by the time the sky is clear. And in Newfoundland and Labrador, the Weather Service is warning of extreme cold temperatures this morning, with wind chills in central Labrador, as Brianne mentioned, falling to minus 46 and wind gusts near the coast. Now, the cancellations are just starting to pour in. We know schools in the Halifax area are canceled for a second day in a row. We'll have a detailed list on our website shortly, and we will have coverage throughout the morning of impacts. Brianne will have more details in the full forecast coming up. In North Sydney, morning ferry crossings are canceled, and evening Marine Atlantic crossings, a warning they may be impacted by weather later today. And because of the ongoing snowfall and snow clearing efforts, the city of Halifax enforced its overnight winter parking ban for a second night.
This is really safety being the paramount reason that we're asking people to get their cars off of the streets during these times so that we can move the snow and clear it out safely and efficiently.
The city says snow clearing crews have been working throughout the night. They are asking drivers to avoid non-essential travel. Most municipal offices have a delayed opening this morning. In New Brunswick this morning, highways are snow covered and drifting snow is impacting visibility. For much of the region, travel's been a big issue thanks to all the snow. Now in St. John, the city's arsenal of 35 street plows and 11 sidewalk blowers, they've been pushing the powder since the first flakes fell. The length of the storm and cold temperatures is resulting in a unique challenge for snow plow operators.
Salt works to about minus 10 degrees Celsius, and we get temperatures below that. So we've had to switch to more of a salt sand mix. And it's going to take a bit longer for that salt to activate to get right down to bare pavement.
That means even on clear streets, drivers should take extra caution with the conditions. And of course, a slow-moving storm impacting flights in and out of the region, especially since it also dumped record amounts of snow in Toronto.
The weather has socked in, and there's nothing moving out of the airport this afternoon. So we rebooked our flight to Toronto for tomorrow, and now we're attempting to rebook the Taiwan leg of the trip.
Flight delays and cancellations are now entering a second day. Halifax Stanfield is encouraging people to check their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport. And one service that is guaranteed to remain open is shelters. Shelters in our region are operating at full capacity right now, and some in Halifax are expanding their services.
And the province just recently approved it 2 days ago that we could expand to 44 beds. So we've added 11 beds, over 30%, and we're already getting demand, and people are already coming in off of the street, and we're so glad that we can actually say yes.
In a statement to CTV, the city of Halifax says multiple shelters across the municipality have increased capacity to ensure additional emergency beds are available. It adds, during extreme weather conditions, various shelters in the municipality remain fully open throughout the day and night, ensuring continuous access to indoor spaces and a safe place for anyone in need. The province says there are up to 60 people living in designated and undesignated encampments in the city. Quick look at other news of the morning. Check your freezer. The recall for a popular snack food has been expanded. The recall focuses on various types of Pillsbury brand pizza pops. Officials have linked E. coli to the products in 7 provinces, including 2 lab-confirmed cases in New Brunswick. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach cramps, and headaches. Consumers and retailers are being warned not to consume, use, sell, serve, or distribute the recalled products. You can find more details on Health Canada's website. Finally, need something to do while stuck inside during this ongoing snowstorm? Well, New York's mayor has a suggestion, courtesy of a Nova Scotia author.
The snow is coming down heavily across our city, and I can think of no better excuse for New Yorkers to stay home, take a long nap, or take advantage of our public library's offer of free access to Heated Rivalry on ebook or audiobook for anyone with a library card.
Of course, the book written by Rachel Reed. She has a whole series on it, Nova Scotian. A bit of a lighter moment at a briefing by New York's mayor there. Schools in that city were closed during one of the biggest snowstorms New York has seen in 5 years. So, like, the kids are having a great time.
They are, but look at that snow. It's a different snow than we got. See how it's heavier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that stuff really causes a ruckus.
It really does. I will say. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, just because we had colder temperatures, right? Ours was a little bit more light and fluffy.
Well, thank you, Mother Nature, for the chilly weather, because it's easier to shovel and clear off the car when it's like that.
Much easier.
Much easier. Okay, let's speak about the snow. If you're young or young at heart, you know when it snows, your thoughts immediately turn to the toboggan hill.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sledding!
Are you upset that school was canceled?
No.
It's really windy and snowy.
And we got a snow day, so.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's great.
Okay, that's not safe.
Lots
The backwards.
Lots of fun.
Oh my gosh, the backwards sledding, never recommended. Dozens of happy sledders were capitalizing in North End Halifax during their snow day yesterday with all that fresh powder out there. Murray Sullivan Park, or the Pit, will likely be busy again today. Maybe I'll have to stop by. That looks like a good hill. Oh, there's the GT racer that you had, Amanda, as a kid.
The GT. That was epic.
That's a good hill, because you see, what's good about this hill is a nice, long landing at the end.
Yeah.
The worst is when there's like a road right there.
Yeah, I used to use a tray from the cafeteria.
A tray from the cafeteria?
It works.
Yeah,
it works.
That was my toboggan.
You know, if that's all you got, take it.
Things were rough where you grew up. Okay. Coming up, we're going to have a look at your national, international news headlines on this Tuesday morning. And also, Brianne will have more details on the snow system. I know we're wondering, when is it finally going to be done?
Oh, gosh.
When's it going to be out of here? Good morning to our viewers in Moncton, too. Snow covering the streets there. Do take your time. There's also ice on the roads as well. The forecast is coming up next.
Good morning, Lunenburg. It is 6:14. 6:44 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And yes, snow is still falling, and we are continuing to see a little bit of that snow continuing throughout the course of this morning. Pretty much the story of the Maritimes. So we are still dealing with the remnants of that nor'easter that's been slow moving through our region. Now we do see a little bit cooler temperatures, which is why we were experiencing that lighter, fluffier snow. As we head throughout our day today, we do still have some special weather statements in effect, so prolonged snowfall and a blowing snow advisory of an additional 5 centimeters of snow, and we could see those winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour. That should end a little bit later this afternoon. Now, we do still have some yellow alerts in effect, so we'll start in the Maritimes, where a snowfall warning is still in effect. We could see an additional 2 to 15 centimeters this morning, possibly more over the highlands in Cape Breton into the early afternoon, with winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. Now, as we head over into Newfoundland and Labrador, of course, that system is blowing into the provinces over there. So we are seeing that blowing snow advisory. We could see 20 centimeters tonight into Wednesday morning. We have a snowfall warning of up to 25 centimeters through the Gander area. And again, we have a cold wind chill impacting into Labrador. Now, we do still have a winter storm warning in effect, too, for most of Newfoundland, and that is going to continue into the early hours of tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then we do have one orange level alert in Labrador as well. So an extreme cold warning with wind chills between -40 and -46. That's going to continue throughout the course of this morning. We should see it start to lighten up a little bit as we head later on into the day. So watching this system push through, we are going to continue to see it, like I said, throughout the course of this morning, especially Nova Scotia, before it clears out later this afternoon into the early hours of this evening. Still hanging around a little bit into parts of Cape Breton. We could see some flurries overnight in most of Nova Scotia, as well as we head into the early hours of Sunday, or of Wednesday morning, rather. I'm already planning ahead to the weekend. We will see some sunshine coming through. As for additional snowfall, we are seeing mostly trace amounts. Could see a little bit more along that Bay of Fundy coastline and, of course, into parts of Cape Breton. And then the storm is really going to be impacting into Newfoundland and Labrador as we head throughout the evening. We will see winds start to taper down a little bit as we head into the evening as that system pushes itself through. But then we will see an additional uptick in winds as we head throughout Wednesday afternoon. So again, something to be cognizant of if you are heading out and about today. We are going to continue to see some of that snow blowing throughout the course of this morning as we head over into Prince Edward Island. Again, we are going to continue to see some of that snow falling and some of that blowing snow with winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour. Again, some sunshine will be popping through a little bit later this afternoon, but dealing with some more snowfall as we head throughout the day. And then as we head into Yarmouth as well as Digby, we're going to see -6. Again, a wind chill factor is going to be in effect. So make sure you are bundling up. In Labrador, it's going to be colder conditions, and then we are going to see that system moving through. But now let's head over to Amanda for your look at international headlines.
Thank you so much, Brianne. It seems one thing that everyone can agree on these days is that the cost of living is a challenge. During the first parliamentary sitting of the new year, the opposition agreed to support the government's plan to increase the GST credit to help Canadians with food costs. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on what that could mean for your household.
So we're acting today. Choosing to be in a produce store instead of Parliament, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced new measures to tackle the affordability crisis. The Liberal government is renaming the GST credit the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit and raising it by 25% for 5 years. With an additional one-time payment this year, the average family of 4 will get nearly $2,000 in 2026 and $1,400 each of the following years. The measure is expected to help 12 million low-income Canadians.
On average, these payments make up for the higher level of food prices since the pandemic.
Carney also laid out a new national food security strategy to strengthen domestic food production and improve access to nutritious food. The Conservatives say the GST measures aren't new, but they'll support them.
The Prime Minister has revived a Trudeau-era rebate, which will let pass, that will barely cover a few trips to the grocery store.
The focus on pocketbook issues is a clear response to the #1 concern of Canadians, according to this pollster.
That's going to be the battleground for the next federal election, and it's going to be the key way that Canadians judge both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre.
With a campaign-style announcement today, it had some wondering if Canadians could be headed to the polls this spring.
Of course, we're not. We're not. We're focused on results for Canadians.
The Conservatives say they'll back the GST boost as long as other spending isn't added on. The bill is expected to be tabled in the coming days. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
A former Canadian Olympic snowboarder has entered his plea in court after being arrested in Mexico City last week. Ryan Wedding has pleaded not guilty to running a billion-dollar drug trafficking ring and orchestrating multiple killings. A trial date has been set for March 24th. If he is convicted of the most serious charges, he could get life in prison. The 44-year-old also faces separate drug charges in Canada dating back to 2015. Investigators are trying to determine if weather was a factor in a fatal plane crash in Maine.
Aircraft upside down. We have a passenger aircraft upside down.
All 6 people on board were killed when the Bombardier Challenger business jet flipped over and burned on takeoff. The disaster happened around 7:45 Sunday night as a massive winter storm was beginning to reach the area. The identities of the victims have not been released. That is a look at your international news headlines on this Tuesday morning. A quick break here. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from TSN and your business headlines. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Well, welcome back. It's almost 6:25 on this Tuesday morning, and it's time to check in with the friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Adam Scully here with your must-see moment from Monday, and for it, we're heading to Atlanta. Pacers visiting the Hawks. First quarter, Dyson Daniels takes the feed, throws down the thunderous slam. The Australian getting up and putting Micah Potter on a poster. Daniels pointing at Potter after the slam, letting him know all about it. The Hawks bench absolutely loving it. That is your must-see moment from Monday. Tuesday on TSN, you can see Draw 10 of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Coverage starts at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Well, now that we have that under our belts, let's head over to your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
A new program called Blue Rewards will launch in the summer. If you have an Air Miles card, hang on to it. You can still use it, but the miles you collect will automatically convert to Blue points. Blue Rewards will use the Expedia platform for bookings. Today, Shell Canada announced it's ending its partnership with Air Miles and moving to Scene, which is owned by Scotiabank. Allied Gold is being bought by a Chinese firm in a deal valued at $5.5 billion. Zijin Gold is paying $44 cash per share for the gold miner. Allied has 3 assets, one in Cote d'Ivoire, one in Mali, and one in Ethiopia. The deal will require Ottawa's approval. Spot gold hit another record today, climbing above $5,000 an ounce. Investors have been rushing to pick it up with new tariff threats targeting Canada. The top movers on the TSX today were all precious metals. Here are the closing numbers for the day. West Texas Intermediate is down to 60.63. Western Canadian Select up $1.59 to 45.47. And the TSX lost 51 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Taking a look here at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. Yes, that pesky snow is hanging around for today. We could see those flurries into the early hours of Wednesday morning before things clear up. And then we'll see a mix of sun and cloud as we head into the day on Thursday. Much the same in Nova Scotia, continuing to see some of those flurries hanging around throughout the course of today. A low of -13 overnight. Some flurries into the early hours of Wednesday morning before we see that sun come through. And then on Thursday, we'll see that sun shining throughout the course of the day with some flurries moving back into the region as we head into Thursday night. Now over on Prince Edward Island, those flurries taken around for the course of today. We'll see a low of -16 overnight. Some flurries hanging around into Wednesday morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today, we're embracing the season, and we want to know your favorite snow day activity. That's in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, good morning, Atlantic Canada.
That was dramatic.
I know.
That was dramatic.
Because it is the second day of a snowstorm here in the region, and I'm glad we're going to be talking about what to do in terms of a snow day and like having fun and embracing it. Because for students, for many of them, all students in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, and quite a bit in New Brunswick, not all of New Brunswick, but like southeastern New Brunswick, it is a snow day again. The second day in a row, a 4-day-long weekend for the kiddos.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so fun for the kids to go out and get some. You know what's great? It's great exercise. We should go tobogganing because it's fun to slide down, but the walking up the hill is incredibly challenging.
Yes, absolutely. That's the part that gets you.
It gets you.
Gets your exercise in, you know, and then your legs are burning at the end of it. And you're like, but I was just going down a hill. I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's so much fun. Do you ever do it when you're going down like with a toboggan and you have multiple people on and then you reach the bottom? Like, who's going to be the one to carry it up?
It's usually me. I usually volunteer.
Yeah, you volunteer?
I like the challenge.
Of course I see you volunteering as tribute.
It's great exercise.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like lifting weights while walking up the hill. Yeah,
Exactly. End of the day, I'm ripped. Everybody else is, you know, wishing they were me.
Tell it to the kid. You've got to learn how to do this.
Also, yes, if you're with small children, you are the one to do it because they are incapable of taking it up the hill. Ooh.
Well, luckily, no one's walking uphill in Charlottetown right now because it is a little bit of a blustery start to the day. Of course, we are continuing to see that storm hanging around our region throughout the course of this morning. So it is supposed to clear out a little bit later this afternoon, but as we head throughout the morning here, yes, we are continuing to see that snow falling as we take a look here at temperatures. A little bit cooler to start the day, and we are going to see some wind chill factors in effect as well. So feeling a little bit colder than what even those numbers are saying, especially over in parts of Labrador. So that wind chill is really going to be a factor throughout the course of the day in Labrador. We do have a special weather statement in effect from Environment Canada, prolonged snowfall and blowing snow with an additional 5 centimeters of snow in the area, as well as northerly winds coming through at 50 kilometers per hour. And then, yes, we still have some yellow alerts in effect. So we'll start with the Maritimes, snowfall continuing, like I said, throughout the course of this morning. We should start to see that clearing through the afternoon. Going to have a little bit more of a lingering snowfall in parts of Cape Breton, especially over the Highlands. As we take a look here at Newfoundland and Labrador, we have that cold warning in effect. We have that blowing snow advisory, and we also have a snowfall warning as well. So that is of the yellow alerts level. As we head later into the night, we are going to continue to see that winter storm warning in effect. So 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, with northwesterly winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour. Now, we do also have one orange level alert in effect, and that's because it's going to get bitterly cold in Labrador, still feeling between minus 40 and minus 46 with that wind chill. So if you're in Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley, just make sure you are bundling up if you do have to go out. Otherwise, stay inside and enjoy a snow day. Let's head over to Amanda for a look at news.
Thank you, Brianne. And that is what is dominating the newscast, the weather. Driving remains tricky this morning as a slow-moving nor'easter continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. Here's a look at conditions in Dartmouth Crossing this morning as snowplows continue to try and stay ahead of the snowfall. All schools in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island are closed today. In New Brunswick, the bulk of the school closures are in southeastern parts of the province. Many university campuses and government offices in the region have delayed openings today. You can find a detailed list of closures on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Brianne will continue to cover the storm, including how much more snow we can expect and when it will be all over, in her next full look at the forecast. Now in North Sydney, morning ferry crossings are canceled for today due to the weather. Meantime, evening Marine Atlantic crossings, they're on the bubble. They may be canceled due to snow in the forecast, so do keep an eye on that. And because of the ongoing snowfall and snow clearing efforts, the city of Halifax enforced its overnight winter parking ban for a second night.
This is really safety being the paramount reason that we're asking people to get their cars off of the streets during these times so that we can move the snow and clear it out safely and efficiently.
The city has snow clearing crews, says the snow clearing crews have been working throughout the night. They are asking drivers to avoid non-essential travel. Most municipal offices have a delayed opening this morning. And in New Brunswick this hour, highways are snow covered and drifting snow is impacting visibility. For much of the region, travel's been an issue for the past few days thanks to this weather system. In St. John, the city's arsenal of 35 street plows and 11 sidewalk blowers have been pushing the powder since the first flakes fell. The length of the storm and cold temperatures is resulting in unique challenge for snowplow operators.
Salt works to about minus 10 degrees Celsius, and we get temperatures below that. So we've had to switch to more of a salt sand mix. And it's going to take a bit longer for that salt to activate to get right down to bare pavement.
That means even if the streets are clear, it's advised that drivers drive with extra caution with these conditions. And of course, the storm still impacting flights in and out of the region, especially since it also dumped record amounts of snow in Toronto.
The weather has socked in and there's nothing moving out of the airport this afternoon. So we've rebooked our flight to Toronto for tomorrow, and now we're attempting to rebook the Taiwan leg of the trip.
Flight delays and cancellations are now entering a second day. Halifax Stanfield is encouraging people to check their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport. And one service that remains open no matter the weather is shelters. Shelters in our region are operating at full capacity right now, and some in Halifax are expanding their services.
And the province just recently approved it 2 days ago that we could expand to 44 beds. So we've added 11 beds, over 30%, and we're already getting demand, and people are already coming in off of the street, and we're so glad that we can actually say yes.
In a statement to CTV, the City of Halifax says multiple shelters across the municipality have increased capacity to ensure additional emergency beds are available. It adds during extreme weather conditions, various shelters in the municipality remain fully open throughout the day and night, ensuring continuous access to indoor spaces and a safe place for anyone in need. The province says there are up to 60 people living in designated and undesignated encampments in the city. We will speak with Souls Harbor Rescue Mission in our 8 o'clock hour. Finally, the two co-stars of the hit Crave series, Heated Rivalry, traded in their skates for torches. Connor Story and Hudson Williams participated in the Olympic torch relay in Italy. The two play professional hockey stars who have a secret relationship. And of course, the Milano Cortina Games begin on February 6th, now less than 2 weeks away. This also had the internet all abuzz. Look at them go. Like, they are really getting the global spotlight right now.
Yeah, gosh, maybe if the Olympics come back to Canada, I'll get to be a torchbearer one day. It's always been a dream.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, those torches are really nice. The Italy ones are really, really nice.
I would also just like to be in Italy.
Yeah, or Italy.
Yeah.
And Italy.
And it.
Yes, I love it. Okay, well, let's talk about the Winter Games, shall we? This week, the world got to experience their very first Winter Olympics 102 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, the competition was held at Chamonix on the French Alps on January 25th, 1924. There were 14 events involving 6 sports. The competition was known at the time as, get this, the International Winter Sports Week. Very creative. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful location though. 4 years later, the International Olympic Committee officially designated the Winter Games, and the 25th edition of those games kick off in Milan, Italy on February 6th. They're going to last for about 2 weeks. So it's not just 1 week anymore.
No. That sounded like what did they call it? A sport week? It sounds like something that you would do in high school. Like, okay, the theme this week is International Winter Sports Week.
Exactly.
I mean, but going in the French Alps to do it, not mad.
Not a bad idea, no. No, they were onto something. But yeah, I'm glad it grew.
They really polished their look.
Exactly.
They did.
Okay, still ahead, we'll have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next is the Move Morning Chat, and we are embracing this season. Today, we want to know, what is your favorite snow day activity? Is it shoveling? Most people don't love to shovel, but one of us actually does. That's coming up.
Good morning, Annie Ganesh. It is 6:44, 7:14 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And yes, we're still experiencing some of that snow. Those slippery icy road conditions continue throughout the course of this morning as well, while crews work to try and clear out this nor'easter that has been coming through the past 2 days. As we take a look here at your current temperatures, a little bit cooler start to the morning, and we are dealing with some wind chill factors as well. So take that into consideration as you head out the door this morning, especially if you are going out in parts of Labrador, because it's definitely extra cold there. Now, we do have some statements in effect still. We still have that prolonged snowfall and blowing snow with an additional 5 centimeters of snow expected in the region as we head throughout the morning and into the early hours of the afternoon. And then, yes, we do still have some yellow alerts in effect for parts of the region. So starting off in the Maritimes, we are seeing that snowfall continue as we head throughout the course of this morning. Going to hang around a little bit longer in parts of Prince Edward Island as well as into Cape Breton Island into the afternoon. We are going to see those winds gusting between 40 and 60 kilometers per hour as we head throughout the morning here. So could see up to 15 centimeters of snow in addition to what we've already experienced, as well as a little bit more over the highlands as we head throughout the day. Now, as we take a look here at Newfoundland and Labrador, we still have a blowing snow advisory in effect as well as a snowfall warning. And then again, that cold wind chill is impacting into parts of Labrador for today. So if you do have to go out and about, please bundle up because it is a colder day to start. We do have a winter storm warning in effect as well, 15 to 25 centimeters of snow expected with northwesterly winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour, blowing snow throughout the course of today and into tonight. Now, we do have an orange level alert for cold, and that's because we're seeing those wind chills between minus 40 and minus 46 for Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls, as well as Churchill Valley. So if you do have to go out today, please bundle up because it is going to be extra cold out there. An orange level alert is a higher alert, so just make sure you are taking that into consideration. Now, watching the system push through, we are going to see it hanging around a little bit throughout the course of this afternoon, and then we start to see it push out as we head into the evening. We will see some overnight flurries coming through as well from another low pressure system coming into the region, but it's not going to be impacting much into tomorrow as we head throughout the day. Now, taking a look here at our snowfall accumulation, again, we are seeing a little bit more along that Bay of Fundy coastline as well as through parts of Prince Edward Island and into Cape Breton, but the majority of that snowfall, again, is going to be into Newfoundland and Labrador as we see that system push over into that portion of Atlantic Canada. Now, as we take a look here at our wind gusts forecast for today, we are seeing an increase in gusting winds. We will start to see those taper down a little bit as we head into the early hours of Wednesday morning, but then we start to see them pick back up again. We are going to experience another little low pressure system coming through on Thursday. So that's why we are going to see those increasing gusting winds as we head later into the day on Wednesday. But if you're at home today enjoying a snow day, well, then the Move Morning Minute is for you.
That sound means it's the Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio. We are tough Canadians and we love a good winter storm. So today we are talking about what is a winter activity that you really enjoy. Aaron and Peter, you two start.
Yeah, especially on a snow day. I mean, it seems like a lot of the country is under this crazy polar vortex and there's snow days happening everywhere. So yeah, activities during a snow day. I mean, I'm a little bit of a princess. I'm not going to lie. I want to stay home in my pajamas. I want to binge some new show on Crave. I just want to stay cozy. However, I was having a moment this morning. I was walking to work. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I do love during a snow day getting out before everybody else is out. There's no cars on the road. It is so quiet. And you can just walk in the middle of the road and enjoy how beautiful it is with all the snow. That's about as much as I'm doing outdoors during a snow day. The rest, I'm inside, warm and cozy.
You know what? I'm going to throw this out, and it's going to sound weird, but my favorite snow day activity is actually shoveling for a couple of reasons. You know, I can convince myself that it's a workout. You know, if I'm out there for half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm going, well, I guess I'm done for the day. I've got my workout in. But it's also so satisfying to get rid of that snow and have it right down to the paved driveway and say, look what I did. I cleaned the snow. So there's something to be said for that, too.
Oh, totally. I get that. I know. I'm with you, Aaron. I'm more of a cozy stay inside gal. I like to maybe cook something, but I kind of take the excuse to just take it easy on a snow day if we could. Like, we do have to come to work, but I've had other jobs in my life where I didn't have to come to work on a snow day, and then you really just like really hunker down. And I love the quiet, especially in the morning of a snow day. It's like the snow's a blanket, even for the sound.
Yeah. Very magical, too. Like, even when the snow was falling Monday morning, it was very sparkly and beautiful on the drive-in. I have to say my favorite thing about a snow day is enjoying it with my 8-year-old. It feels, once I get home, It's so much fun just to get all the layers on, go outside, play around in the snow. We have our black lab who's also digging in the snow with us. We do sledding in our backyard. We create snowmen. It is the best, and I feel like, and I hope that we're creating these good core childhood memories of just getting out and embracing the snow. Like, you don't have to go to school. We're going to have a good time together. Yes, it's cold. And then when we're tired, go inside, have some hot chocolate.
Love it. Oh, I love that. I love that. As a kid, though, just real quick, I remember waiting for the snow. Like, we had like sleds and magic carpets. The second it snowed, we'd be on those. The hill that we had was like this much of an incline. We did not care. We were on that all day.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you ever have a friend have the GT racer?
No. You had that, though, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, split between 4 girls, though, so we're all fighting for it. So we want to ask you, since we've had so much fresh snow, what is your favorite snow day activity? It could be outdoor. Hey, it could be indoors. Send us a text at 10400, and we will share your answers later in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Well, Crystal, it's cold outside.
It sure is.
So let's go to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Come on and sing along all night long.
Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind and Fire are teaming up again for another leg of their Sing a Song All Night Long tour. The tour first launched in 2023 and played a second leg in 2024. The third leg of the tour will play 26 cities, kicking off on June 24th in St. Paul, Minnesota. The 79th annual Tony Awards are officially returning to Radio City Music Hall. The venue seats 6,000 people and has long been the home of the ceremony. The show broadcasts June 7th on CBS and Paramount Plus. The host has yet to be announced. And happy birthday to Patton Oswalt. The King of Queens and Goldberg star is 57 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Dawn, ABC News, Los Angeles.
That's a look at your entertainment headlines. Happening now in local news, it is another snow day. Schools are canceled across Nova Scotia and PEI and parts of New Brunswick. We'll have more on the conditions, cancellations, and delays coming up. Plus, the Nova Scotia doctors' wait list shrinks, and New Brunswick recruits more physicians. We'll have more on healthcare headlines just ahead. Plus, staying with healthcare, 7 surgeries. A Nova Scotia orthopedic sets a Canadian record in a Dartmouth operating room. We'll have the story just ahead in your local news headlines, but first, it is a look with the 3-day forecast with Brianne.
Yes, thanks, Amanda. Like you said, snow sticking around for this morning as we head throughout the day today. We will continue to see some lingering flurries before things clear up. Could experience some flurries overnight before things clear into the early hours of Wednesday. Then we'll see some sun popping through and some sunshine expected in the forecast for Thursday over in Nova Scotia. Much of the same, those lingering flurries throughout the course of today and a few overnight before we see some gusting conditions and a little sunshine popping through for Wednesday. Over on the Gentle Island, again, that snow continuing throughout the course of today. Cooler conditions overnight. We'll see some flurries, but stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Tuesday, January 27th, today on your Morning Atlantic. Weather woes for a second day in a row. Snow continues to fall in our region, making for tricky driving conditions and cancellations. Your Tommy's headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And International Holocaust Remembrance Day will highlight the importance of January 27th, which remembers victims and reflects on anti-Semitism. That's in 15 minutes on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. It is Cusping on 7:01, 7:31 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And it's a good day to be inside with a nice cup of coffee, bundled up with a book, or hanging out with us.
Yeah, that does sound really nice.
It does.
Right?
It sounds really nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
The advice that we've been receiving from officials this morning, like if you don't have to be on the roads, stay home if you can, but really feeling for the snowplow operators who are just continuing to work around the clock to keep clearing those streets. It's got to be deja vu, like, all right, I just cleared this street. Oh, here I am again clearing this street.
I know. It's just like, I don't know when the snow is going to end. And when we came in middle of the night, it was still coming fast and furious. So
Fast and furious, yeah. Even yesterday when I was out in the doing the hits in Dartmouth, we were talking to a couple of the guys that were clearing the snow, and I was like, so how long have you been doing this? And they're like, yeah, we started at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
We're going to continue pretty much all day and like into,
Wow.
So
we appreciate it.
So definitely appreciate it. I did ask them if they were cold. They said, nah, it's fine. We're ready for this type of weather.
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, we do appreciate definitely the hard work of snow clearers.
Yes, well, I mean, we are continuing to see some snow, although this falling snow seems to be a little bit lighter as we head later into the morning, which makes sense because that system is finally pushing itself out of our region. So we should start to see things clearing up a little bit later this afternoon into this evening. Now taking a look here at our current temperatures, again, a little bit cooler to start the day up in northern parts of New Brunswick as well as up in Labrador. We do actually have a orange level alert up in Labrador, so just make sure you are bundling up if you do have to go out and about. As we take a look at those wind chill factors, again, making things feel a lot colder than those numbers are saying. As we take a look here up in Labrador City as well as in Nain, we are seeing colder temperatures again settling in. So just make sure you are taking that into consideration. We do have a special weather statement with that prolonged snowfall and blowing snow. We could see up to 5 centimeters of additional snow heading throughout the province throughout today. We also have a yellow alert in effect still for most of the Maritimes as well as now into Newfoundland and Labrador. So that snowfall could see an additional 15 centimeters, especially in the Cape Breton area as well as into parts of Prince Edward Island. So that's going to continue throughout the course of this morning. Should be clearing a little bit later this afternoon into the early hours of this evening. And as we take a look here at Newfoundland and Labrador, yes, that snowfall is continuing into Newfoundland, blowing snow advisory as well. And like I said, that cold wind chill is impacting throughout parts of Labrador. We even have a winter storm watch in effect as well. So we are going to see about 15 to 25 centimeters of snow coming through, as well as northwesterly winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour throughout today and into tonight. As we take a look here, that orange level alert for cold is mainly hanging around Labrador City, Wabush, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley. So if you do have to get out and about today, just make sure you're bundling up because those wind chills are between -40 and -46. I'll have a full look at weather coming up in just a bit, but now let's head over to Amanda for your look at news headlines.
Thank you, Brianne. And weather is making news this morning. Driving remains difficult this hour as the slow-moving nor'easter continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. Here's a look at conditions in Dartmouth Crossing this morning as snowplows continue to try and stay ahead of the snowfall. All schools in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island are closed today. In New Brunswick, the bulk of the school closures are in southeastern parts of the province. Many university campuses and government offices in the region have delayed openings. Meantime, it's a busy but somewhat welcome time for those in the snow clearing business.
So far, like this year, it's been slow, but now that the weather's been picking up, because I do snow removal in the wintertime, so the more snow, the better for me. But I mean, I understand that's not the case for everybody else, right? But, you know, we all got to make a living.
And a detailed list of closures can be found on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Brianne will have more details on just how long this weather system will last for coming up after our next break. To other news of the morning, Nova Scotia is revamping the way its family doctor waitlist works and says it will connect patients to a healthcare provider more quickly.
Now, when someone contacts the registry for support to find a provider, the team discusses their personal circumstances and health concerns with them. This help ensures they can be added to the registry, have access to care options, and understand how Nova Scotia Health can support them.
Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the old list was just a static collection of names that didn't have much information about the patients or their health status. Now when people join the list, health officials will speak with them about their needs, which the government says will provide better and faster care. There are almost 66,000 Nova Scotians on the wait list, down from more than 160,000 about 18 months ago. And in New Brunswick, the College of Physicians and Surgeons says a large number of doctors from Quebec are applying to practice in our region. Since October, there have been 126 applications from physicians in Quebec, and 24 licenses have been issued. Part of the reason is an ongoing labor dispute between doctors and the Quebec government. The situation has helped the Vitalité Health Network surpass its recruitment goal. Still, MLA Bill Hogan is concerned about the Upper River Valley Hospital near Heartland, which is down to one surgeon.
They have posted a position for a second surgeon. I think they need to have a third surgeon. Anesthesiology is a big problem also. I mean, we're short anesthesiologists right across the board in the province.
Vitalité and Horizon are also on the hunt for space suitable for healthcare clinics. To that end, they are reaching out to real estate and property owners. Finally, in December, the orthopedic team at the Dartmouth General Hospital became one of the first in the country to complete 7 hip replacement surgeries in a single operating room in one day. And as CTV's Mike Lamb shows us, this past Friday, they did it again.
I'm Jay Snyderman, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Dartmouth General Hospital. And today we did 7 hip replacements in one operating room. So it was a really great experience for the team, and it was very efficient. In December, that was the first time we did 7 hip replacements in one operating room, I think, in kind of Atlantic Canada. So it was a good trial run. And I think we, like me personally and the team, we kind of had some things to work on. And I think today it went even smoother. I think just to be able to replicate it is the biggest thing, just to show it wasn't a one-off. I think we had a whole different team today, so definitely something we can build upon for the future. Like on an average operating day, I probably do 4 or 5 cases. Hip replacements generally take 30 to 40 minutes. Nothing changes really in terms of my operating time. It's mostly just the efficiency piece in terms of cleaning the room, making sure everything is set up, all the instruments are ready, and then the anesthesia gets done kind of simultaneously, so you have parallel processing, it's called. I just got to Dartmouth about 4 months ago, and the team here has been amazing since I've been here. Everyone's been really committed to kind of pushing things forward and kind of getting the best for patients in the province. And they've kind of set up a really good system here where it's very efficient, and they're trying to be the most efficient center in the province. I think Canada in general gets maybe a bad rap for wait times, so anything we can do to speed up the wait times and get more patients done, I think is a good thing we can do. If it was every day, I'd be pretty tired, so every once in a while is good. I think moving forward, maybe it's possible to do 8, so maybe 1 more. Getting 7 people off the wait list is a good achievement, and I think the team can be proud of that, because I think every person you get done is just another person that doesn't have to wait as long. Everyone did such a good job, and proud of everyone, from like the nurses to the anesthesia team to the cleaners. Everyone has their big, important role, and the only way it happens is if everyone kind of works together to achieve it.
Way to go, team! All right.
Yes, wow. Way to go.
That's awesome. And they might be going for 8. And just again, like, thank you to all the healthcare workers that we have who continue to have to work and get to work in these conditions.
Yes, true.
Essential workers.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue the theme of free trips to warmer places today.
Love that.
All right.
Let's take a trip now to the land down under. It's a second trip for you, Amanda. I know you've been. We're going to discover a radio station that's breaking barriers.
Guys, come with me.
So this radio station in Australia has shows on everything from rock music to anime. 8CCC is part of a program offering accessible training in radio broadcasting. Its goal is to give all voices a chance to be represented in the media. There are now 5 shows at the station hosted by broadcasters with disabilities.
Oh, I love
super
that.
Super cool, right?
That is super cool. And anime has some great music.
Is it? Oh yeah, it totally does. Like the ocarina for would Legend of Zelda be considered anime? No.
Probably not.
What about Pokemon?
Yeah,
It's like a gateway into anime.
Yeah, more
all right.
video games.
Well, in any case, when you go to Australia next, Amanda, pop in. Maybe you can offer them a few little tips.
Oh boy, I got to save up a lot more. I'm sticking in this country for the year, I'll tell you what.
Fair enough.
Okay, still ahead in this half hour, we're going to have a look at your national news headlines, and coming up after the break, Brienne, we'll have the latest look at this Tuesday forecast. Lots to talk about, lots of weather warnings. Good morning to our viewers in St. John's, now getting some fresh snow out there. The forecast when we return.
Good morning, Truro. 7:14, 7:44 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. Currently -7 degrees, but feeling a little bit cooler with the wind chill that is currently in effect across most of Atlantic Canada. As we take a look here at our current temperatures, a little bit cooler up in northern parts of New Brunswick, but the majority of that cold air is pushing into Labrador right now. So we do have a couple of watches and warnings to talk about as we head throughout our day today. Now, first and foremost, we have a special weather statement in effect, so prolonged snowfall and blowing snow. An additional 5 centimeters of snow expected throughout the course of this morning, ending a little bit later this afternoon. We do still have a couple of yellow alerts in effect across the region as well. So we'll start in the Maritimes, where we are going to see some more snowfall throughout the course of this morning. However, it should pass through as we head into the afternoon. Could see between 2 and 15 centimeters of snow, possibly more over the highlands in Cape Breton. We are going to see wind gusts up to 60 kilometers per hour before those die off as we head into the evening. Now, taking a look over at Newfoundland and Labrador, where that nor'easter is pushing into, again, that snowfall is going to be impacting into parts of Newfoundland as we head throughout the day today. Some blowing snow coming through both Newfoundland and Labrador, and then, of course, a cold front as well. So wind chill values between -31 and -42, easing out throughout the day. We do have that winter storm warning in effect as well for today, with up to 25 centimeters of snow and northwesterly winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour. That's going to continue for today and into tonight. And then we do have one orange level alert in effect for parts of Labrador. So again, cold conditions, wind chills between -40 to -46. So if you do have to get out and about today, just make sure you are taking that into effect, because frostbite is imminent with those types of conditions. As we take a look here at our forecast, again, that snow hanging around throughout the course of this morning, then we start to see it push through as we head later into the afternoon, again, hanging around through parts of Cape Breton and really impacting into Newfoundland and Labrador as we head into Wednesday. Now, we will get a little bit of flurry action overnight into parts of Nova Scotia as well as southern parts of New Brunswick. However, we should see sunny skies coming through on Wednesday. So we're almost out of the snow. Now, a little bit of an accumulation of snow along that Bay of Fundy coastline, but the majority of that snow hanging around in parts of Cape Breton for today, and then, of course, over into Newfoundland and Labrador. And as we watch those wind gusts, they will start to taper off as we head into the evening, but then we will see them pick back up as another little low pressure system enters into our region. So what does our forecast look like for today? Again, wind chill values are going to be in effect, so take those into consideration, but we are going to see some of those flurries clearing out throughout the course of today. Again, pretty average type temperatures, but then with that wind chill, it is going to feel a little bit colder. We are going to continue to see that snow hanging around through Cape Breton. We will see some sun start to pop out through Truro and Sheet Harbor a little bit later today, as well as into central and eastern parts of Nova Scotia. And then, of course, colder conditions with that snow moving in for Newfoundland and Labrador. But now let's head over to Amanda for your look at international headlines.
Thank you so much, Brienne. And of course, this big winter storm, it's not just only impacting Atlantic Canada, it's having a wider impact on all of Eastern Canada. CTV's John Benevalley-Rao has more.
In downtown Toronto, this was the scene many drivers woke up to, warned to stay off the streets. A directive that wasn't hard to follow, because just getting to a main road required a lot of shoveling.
For Toronto, it's shocking, to be honest.
In a city once ridiculed for calling in the army to help clear snow, This was, by any standard, a lot to cope with, smashing records that go back more than 80 years.
It was crazy. Like, we haven't had storms like that in a long time.
In some parts of downtown Toronto, 56 centimeters fell, with the city by far getting the worst of the snow, fueled by its proximity to Lake Ontario and the wind direction.
I don't think I've ever recalled a storm that where the heaviest amount of snow was in Toronto when a storm hit the entire province, like from Windsor to Ottawa.
A storm that closed schools, with kids getting a snow day, and residents asked to stay home if they could. In Kitchener, so much snow was piled up on the side of an overpass, it acted like a ramp, which a pair of cars hit and launched over, one of them flipping and landing on the ground below, killing the driver. At Pearson Airport, where they also got walloped by record snow, airlines were in recovery mode after hundreds of flights were canceled on Sunday, and there were plenty more delays today.
I understand it's the weather, and I mean safety comes first.
A storm then moved into Quebec and onto the Maritimes, where as much as 35 centimeters of snow was expected to fall in Nova Scotia. And in many parts of the Maritimes, schools were also closed. At Halifax's airport, dozens of flights were canceled. As for Toronto, this is now the snowiest January on record, triple the average amount, and there's still 5 days left in the month. John Benavelli-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Thank you, John. And of course, we have another round of school closures in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and PEI today. You can find a detailed list on our website. When we return, Crystal will have a conversation about International Holocaust Remembrance Day. That's coming up next.
Welcome back. It's 7:23, and today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and the theme this year is Holocaust Remembrance for Dignity and Human Rights. People from around the world take this day to remember the victims of the Holocaust and reflect on anti-Semitism. Here to tell us more is Mark David, the past president of the Atlantic Jewish Council. First of all, thank you so much for making the effort to come in this morning. I know it was a little slippery on those roads.
A little slippery, but thank you very much, and we thank your Morning Atlantic show for hosting this segment of the show. It's a very important day for the Jewish community.
It is an important day, and it is significance on the Jewish calendar as well. So maybe for people at home who don't know, what's the significance of January 27th?
So the January 27th is the UN-created International Day of Commemoration in memory of victims of the Holocaust, which normally gets just called International Holocaust Remembrance Day. The Holocaust is a term that it comes from the Greek, which refers to a burnt offering. And so a lot of Jewish people are uncomfortable with that because so many of the victims of the Holocaust, of course, were cremated. So there's a separate Jewish holiday on the Jewish calendar called Yom HaShoah, Shoah meaning catastrophe. So you'll hear that Jewish people will refer to the Holocaust as the Shoah, that the Holocaust itself is a broader term that encompasses other people that were murdered by the Nazis in the Holocaust.
Well, thank you for clarifying that for us. Now, I know that on this day, 81 years ago, I believe,
yes,
Auschwitz was liberated, and
yes,
at least 1 million people lost their lives in that horrific situation. We're showing some images of Auschwitz that are historical, but I understand that you had the opportunity to visit the site.
Yeah, so I was able to participate in a program called the March of the Living, which I did in 2005. And I went to several of the Holocaust sites. Went to Auschwitz, Treblinka, Majdanek, other places like that, where you go visit the camps and you see what was there. And it's very, very, it's very daunting. It's very powerful, very emotional.
It would be wonderful for everybody to have the opportunity to visit those sites. But for those of us who have the opportunity to reflect from where we are today, why is it, in my opinion, more important than ever to reflect on anti-Semitism today?
Well, unfortunately, since October the 7th, worldwide anti-Semitism has really been on the increase. And it's not just the sort of the typical anti-Semitism, perhaps, where it's people saying bad things about Jewish people or making the usual kind of tropes where they say that Jews control the media. There's also been an awful physical aspect to it, too. Most recently, the Bondi Beach massacre in Australia. And very tragically, these events, not the loss of life, but the physical aspect of it is also playing out across Canada, including in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's interesting. And when working in the news, we hear stories so common. How can we do a better job of remembering and honoring victims of the Holocaust?
Well, I think one of the important things to do is to always make sure that we fight against Holocaust distortion, Holocaust denial. You often see some very well-known commentators that are questioning the Holocaust by just saying they're just asking questions. We always have to push back against that, because when we don't do that, we trivialize the people that were murdered in the Holocaust, we trivialize those that survived, and also we trivialize the sacrifices that the Canadian military made. Thousands and thousands of Canadian veterans died to fight Nazism. So we're trivializing their sacrifice as well if we don't push back.
Tell us about the virtual event happening today.
Yes, so there's an event originally was going to be held in person at the Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21, which is a great partner for the Atlantic Jewish Council. Unfortunately, with the weather circumstances, they decided to shift to a virtual thing. It's a film called Here Lived, and it's what's called the Stolpersteine Project. Stolpersteine means stumbling stones. And what people are doing, what it focuses on is that they create little brass stones, or brass-covered stones, that are put in front of places in, particularly the focus is on the Netherlands, houses where Jewish people lived before they were deported and taken away to be murdered. And I think it's really important because it focuses on the names of the people. And our experience is that, if you hear about some tragic event, you might think of it just in terms of the event, but when you hear people's names associated with it, it puts a personal edge to it and makes it more understandable on a personal level.
Well, David, really appreciate you coming in and chatting with us this morning. Mark, rather.
That's
Mark
quite all right.
David, yeah. Mr. David. And we put a link to the Atlantic Jewish Council's website on ours so that people can access it.
Yes, the film is available free through the website.
Perfect. All right, we will take a quick break. The Atlantic Jewish Council also celebrating 50 years this year. We'll be back right after this.
Just ahead in this half hour, combating overconsumption. In this week's Tuesday segment, we'll meet an entrepreneur who's hoping her no-spend challenge can inspire you. That's coming up here in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome on in. It's already 7:32. We're halfway through the show. Time's flying by on this Tuesday morning. If you're at home watching us from the safety of wherever you are, we appreciate that you've joined us, and you're doing the right thing because the weather's nasty out there and it is slippery on the roads.
I always get tempted to, when the weather's like this, to do some online shopping. So I am looking forward to our Tuesday guest to be like, no, okay, think about what do you already have and stop. Which is something I know I have to think about for the new year. But that is something for spending for January, for the new year. A lot of people think, okay, I need to really look at my budget.
Looking to make a positive change, yeah. Now, if you are curious what's happening in the weather, Brienne's been very busy this morning. What can you tell us right now?
Well, you're going to want to bundle up today, that's for sure, because it's still continuing to snow. I mean, beautiful day to hit the hills, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, look at that fresh powder.
Right? I do definitely say so myself, especially because it's been the beautiful fluffy snow as we can see here in Brookville, PEI. So if you are hitting the slopes today, hey, it'll be a good day for it, especially if you have a snow day, which a lot of the region does have. Amanda will get into that in just a moment in her newscast. But as we take a look here at our current temperatures, pretty average for this time of year. However, wind chill factors do play a role today. So things feeling a little bit cooler than what those numbers are saying. So if you are getting out on the slopes or, tobogganing or whatever outdoor activity you'd like to get into today, just make sure you are bundling up because it is a little bit cooler up there, especially up in Labrador. So we do have a special weather statement in effect, prolonged snowfall and blowing snow continuing throughout the course of this morning into the early hours of the afternoon. An additional 5 centimeters of snow is expected. And then, of course, we do have a couple of yellow level alerts in effect. So snowfall continuing for most of the Maritimes for today in that southern portion of New Brunswick over into Prince Edward Island, as well as most of Nova Scotia, and especially hanging around into Cape Breton a little bit later into the afternoon. Now we take a look here at Newfoundland and Labrador. Again, that low pressure system is pushing over. That nor'easter is headed to Newfoundland and Labrador. So again, we have that blowing snow advisory, that snowfall advisory, and that cold advisory as well. Wind chill values between -31 to -42, easing throughout the day. And we also have a winter storm warning in effect. So 15 to 25 centimeters of snow with 80-kilometer-per-hour gusting winds coming through today and tonight. So again, it is coming through as we head throughout the evening. We are continuing to see an orange level cold alert as well, and that is because wind chill values are between -40 and -46 for Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley. So just make sure you are bundling up if you are heading out and about today. I'll have a full look at weather coming up in just a bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda for a look at news.
Thank you so much, Brianne. And that's where we begin. Driving remains tricky this morning as the slow-moving nor'easter continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. Here's a look at conditions in Dartmouth Crossing this morning as snowplows continue to try and stay ahead of the ongoing snowfall. All schools in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island are closed today. In New Brunswick, the bulk of the school closures are in southeastern parts of the province. Many university campuses and government offices in the region have delayed openings. Meantime, it is a busy but somewhat welcome time for those who are in the snow clearing business.
So far, like this year, it's been slow, but now that the weather's been picking up, because I do snow removal in the wintertime, so the more snow, the better for me. But I mean, I understand that's not the case for everybody else, right? But, you know, we all got to make a living.
You want to keep those shovels handy, too. You can find a detailed list of closures on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, and Brianne will have the latest look at the forecast coming up next. Now, in North Sydney, morning ferry crossings are canceled. As for the evening, Marine Atlantic says the evening crossings, right now, they're still a go, but they may be canceled due to weather conditions. And because of the ongoing snowfall and snow clearing efforts, the city of Halifax enforced its overnight winter parking ban for a second night.
This is really safety being the paramount reason that we're asking people to get their cars off of the streets during these times so that we can move the snow and clear it out safely and efficiently.
The city says snow clearing crews have been working throughout the night. They are asking drivers to avoid non-essential travel. Most municipal offices have a delayed opening this morning. And in New Brunswick this hour, highways are snow covered and drifting snow is impacting visibility. For much of the region, travel's been an issue thanks to the snow. In St. John, the city's arsenal of 35 street plows and 11 sidewalk blowers have been pushing the powder since the first flakes fell. The length of this storm and cold temperatures is resulting in a unique challenge for operators.
Salt works to about -10 degrees Celsius, and we get temperatures below that. So we've had to switch to more of a salt sand mix. And it's going to take a bit longer for that salt to activate to get right down to bare pavement.
That means even on clear streets, drivers should take extra caution in these conditions. And of course, the storm still impacting flights in and out of the region, especially since it also dumped record amounts of snow in Toronto.
The weather has socked in and there's nothing moving out of the airport this afternoon. So we rebooked our flight to Toronto for tomorrow, and now we're attempting to rebook the Taiwan leg of the trip.
Flight delays and cancellations are now entering a second day. Halifax Stanfield is encouraging people to check their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport. And speaking of the snow dumping that they got in Toronto, what do you do when there's up to 60 centimeters of snow outside your home? Well, many people, of course, took to social media to showcase what they got up to when the snow hit in Ontario, and we get to enjoy taking a look.
Oh yeah, I can. Do ba 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 do do ba do boo do a boo ba do ba do boo boo ba do a do ba do ba do a do ba do do ba 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 do do ba do boo do.
Downtown
In
Toronto.
downtown Toronto, that is a great question. But look at this.
You can get anything in downtown Toronto.
Look at this husky.
That's an effort.
Just living the best life.
You made it.
Happy as a clam.
You made it, good girl.
Oh my gosh.
I really liked the skiing right behind like the go bus too. Like you see the go bus going and they're just skiing along, living their best lives.
What a time.
I did see in New York, someone attached like a snowboard and they were snowboarding through the streets behind a car.
Oh!
In like literally in Times Square.
Yowza. Don't do that at home.
Don't do that at home.
No.
Whoa. Wow. Don't do that, kids who are out there for another snow day. Stick with your snowmen.
Look, we saw the husky loving the snow.
Yes.
Some creatures are just built for it. So mark your calendars for next winter for the annual penguin walk at the Calgary Zoo. Did you see it one time in your life?
No.
Okay. This is happening. Now, next year is going to mark the 15th anniversary of the popular event for the dozen or so king penguins at the zoo. Officials say the birds love this event even more than the onlookers. Look at their amazing little feet.
Do they have knees?
I'm not sure about that. We are not zoologists. However, I can tell you this. The penguins anticipate this walk. They actually kind of know when it's happening, and when the zookeepers go let them out on this day for the walk, they're waiting. They actually know it's going to happen, and they love it. Now, the king penguin is the second largest kind of penguin in the world. The largest is the emperor penguin.
Fun fact.
All penguins are fantastic.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be neat? So next year, it's in January. We'll try to. I'd love to go to that. We're not going to get to go
live.
to that. Yeah, exactly.
We'll go live and cover it for you.
I hope we can send you to go live. That would, or me. Yeah.
Fantastic. See, look, they're embracing the season.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing today. That's the focus of our Move Morning Chat. We're asking, how do you enjoy a snow day? Or send us some photos. 10400 is the number to send us a text at. If you've never texted us before, you're going to get a prompt saying which your morning show you watch. Of course, you're watching the Atlantic one. And let us know your first name. What's your favorite snow day activity? Bonus points if you have a fun snow photo that you can send us, and we can potentially show it on the show a little bit later. So we'll have your answers coming up. But some of the responses we've received so far, people like to stay inside.
Snow angels for me.
Yeah.
You did a great one yesterday.
Yeah,
I was told it needs work on my snow angel, but I was like, I had to save the microphone.
Well, I know we've got to get to break, but right after your segment, we had like a person in the world of exercise saying that snow angels, indoors anyway, are a great way to like keep from getting stiff at your desk.
There you go.
So you were onto something.
Something to think about. Well, still ahead, Brian has the latest look at the forecast, then embracing a simpler life. And this week's TIA Tuesday, we will chat with an entrepreneur and content creator about her no spend challenge and how it's changing her life. Could change yours as well. That conversation is coming up later this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Beautiful stuff.
Good morning, Lockport. 746. 8:16 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And I did promise that sunshine would be coming our way today. And look at that. That sun is shining as we head throughout this morning. Now, we are going to continue to see a few flurries lingering throughout the course of this morning, especially in Nova Scotia, in southern parts of New Brunswick, as well as into Prince Edward Island. But as we take a look here at our temperatures, current temperatures, not too bad, although we do have some wind chill factors in effect, making things feel a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying. So just make sure you are checking those as you head out and about if you don't have a snow day for today. Because as we take a look here, well, we do have a prolonged snowfall and blowing snow advisory still in effect for parts of Prince Edward Island, but that has cleared up for New Brunswick. So a great start to the day. Like I said, that sunshine coming through. We still have some yellow alerts in effect, however. So we do still have a snowfall warning in effect for most of the Maritimes this morning. Again, that's going to start to clear out throughout the course of today and into the afternoon. We could still see it hanging around through parts of Cape Breton as well as Prince Edward Island as we head into the early hours of this evening. Now, the majority of those yellow alerts are going to be remaining in effect for Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. Of course, that's because that slow-moving nor'easter is heading that way. So blowing snow, snowfall, and a cold front is coming through. Wind chill values between -31 and to -42, easing throughout the day, but we will have some colder temperatures still lingering through parts of Labrador for today. We do have that winter storm warning in effect with 15 to 25 centimeters of snow and northwesterly winds gusting from 60 to 80 kilometers per hour for today and tonight. Now, as we take a look here, that orange alert level is in effect for Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley. So those temperatures ranging from -40 to -46. So again, cold, cold, cold out there. Make sure you're bundling up because frostbite is a concern. Watching this system, like I said, moving out of the region as we head into the afternoon. We are going to continue to see some sun coming through for most of New Brunswick as well as into Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Could still see some flurries lingering through the course of the evening in parts of Cape Breton. Another low pressure system impacting into parts of Nova Scotia overnight into the early hours of Wednesday morning, but most of that flurry action is going to be clearing out and heading over to Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, as we take a look here at what we can expect in terms of additional snowfall for the next 24 hours, mostly trace amounts, a little bit more along that Bay of Fundy coastline, as well as obviously hanging around in parts of Cape Breton. And then, yes, of course, into Newfoundland and Labrador is going to be the majority of that snowfall. Now, with the gusting winds, we are going to see a little bit of increase in gusting winds throughout the course of this morning into the early hours of the afternoon before things taper down a little bit. And then we'll start to see those winds pick up once again as we head into Wednesday. Another low pressure system will be entering into our region as of Thursday. So for today, we're going to have a few scattered flurries hanging around, cooler temperatures. Again, wind chill factors are going to be in effect as we head down to Prince Edward Island. A few flurries remaining for the morning. However, we are going to start to see that clear out. Now, Cape Breton continuing to see some of those flurries, but we're going to see some sun shining in parts of western Nova Scotia as well as into central and eastern parts of Nova Scotia throughout the course of today. And of course, colder conditions, a few sunny skies, but then of course the snow impacting into Newfoundland and Labrador for today. Crystal?
Thank you so much, Brian. It's 7:49 and time for Tia Tuesday. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by clutter or debt or both? Well, you're going to want to pay close attention to this week's Tia Tuesday because we're going to meet a maritime creator who has set the intention to buy less in 2026 and honor the money she's already spent. So we're pleased to welcome Tamaya Henry, content creator and co-owner of Basha Concepts Media, and Tia Upshaw, founder and CEO of Black Women in Excellence. Thank you both for coming in, braving the elements for us today.
Listen, of course. It was a whole journey to get here.
I know, we appreciate it, and looking the way you do as well. Like,
Oh,
thank you for making the effort, both of you.
Fabulous.
So Tamaya, this spotlight's on you today. You're a digital creator. You're on a mission to kind of encourage others to show up as they are, embrace simplicity, living with purpose. So when did you decide to take on this no-buy challenge?
So it was last year when I realized that I was just shopping out of boredom, shopping at every little inconvenience as a reward. If I had a bad day, I would find myself at the mall buying a lip gloss when I already have 10.
Yeah.
So I wasn't hearing myself, and I wanted to hear myself again. So I decided that, hey, January is the perfect time to reset, to reestablish my relationship with money, save more. I mean, I want to go on a lot of trips, but if I keep leaking my money into all these things that I don't really need, you know, the trips will not be possible. So I just started this just so I could hear myself more and center myself and my relationship with money.
Well, here's a video that you shot to kind of introduce the concept. Again, beautifully shot. I love that. Tamaya's on media as Maya Sadie, if you want to follow her. But so this is just showing sort of, I guess, you're talking about why you're doing this. But I want to know, bringing you in for a second, Tia, like, is Tamaya inspiring you to change?
Yeah, no. She should. I was just on a podcast the other day with Stephanie Folahan with It's Not That Serious. And she just said, Tia, what does it cost you every month to look the way you look? I'm not going to say the number, you got to listen to the podcast. I would say that it's not inspiring me to change, but it is interesting because I do shop to reward myself.
Yeah.
I do. I will go and click if I have a bad day. If I have a good day, I will shop. If I'm tired, I will shop. Literally, I will. So maybe after I watch this, when I go home, Crystal, I might just take what she's saying and use it.
Well, let's just kind of break down what it means, no buy versus low buy. We've only got about a minute left. So for people at home right now, like, what does this mean, no buy? What's no buy versus low buy?
So no buy versus low buy. So the no buy is for the impulse buy. So I've hit the mute button on all the impulse buys. As Tia said, you know, the least little inconvenience, I go shop. So now I just choose to do something different. Or, you know, you can't escape the marketing emails. So as they come in.
And Texas, they text you.
Yeah, they text you too. We're having a 70% sale. So for me, I just pause. I'm like, do I really need this? Is it going to enhance my life right now? Is it going to drain me? So I just try to be present in the moment and just really just spend on the essentials only. So, and even for the essentials, I try to do the low buy. So I don't have to go for the most expensive because it's trending aesthetic or anything like that. Because aesthetics is a word that's just floating around in the social space now. Everybody wants to be and to feel a part of a trending aesthetic. So I decided not to really buy for the aesthetic, and hence the no buy and the low buy.
Well, thank you so much for sharing so openly, and I love that you can follow along with you kind of as you're doing this and see how long. And Tia, thank you for introducing us to Tamaya.
Go to her social, Crystal. You'll learn. Like I'm telling you, she's popping on there.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually, coincidentally, we got to move on, but I'm on a similar challenge. And when I said no buy, then I'm just like, I got to keep the promise to myself, even when it's tempting. I'm like, nope, January, I'm not buying anything.
Really?
So far, so far I've managed to get through the whole month. So
yay!
I know, right?
Congrats.
So you are. Thank you, but you're an inspiration to me and hopefully others out there. All right, well, it's time now to end this interview and move on to Milestones. Well, we have no milestones to pass along today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or find out how to submit one, just visit our website by scanning the QR code you see on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. And now we'll turn our attention over to Brienne in the Weather Center.
Yes, well, thank you, Crystal. We are taking a look here at your 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. Again, some flurries hanging around through parts this morning, mostly in the southern portion of the province. We could see some flurries entering overnight into the early hours of Wednesday morning. However, we will see that sun coming through for Wednesday. So we're almost out of this nor'easter as we head into Thursday. Again, we are going to see that sun shining once again. A little bit cooler than average type temperatures for this time of year. As we head over to Nova Scotia, we are continuing to see some of those flurries hanging around throughout the course of this morning. Of course, into parts of Cape Breton is where we're going to continue to see snow throughout the course of this afternoon into the early hours of this evening, and we could see some flurries entering the province overnight into the early hours of Wednesday morning. But then there is some some sunshine rather, on the way as well. As we head into Thursday, we're going to continue to see some more sunshine coming through, as well as some flurries. And then as we head over onto Prince Edward Island, again, we're going to continue to deal with those flurries throughout the course of this morning before we see some sunshine entering the region for Wednesday.
Tuesday, January 27th, today on your Morning Atlantic. Here we snow again for a second day in a row. Snow continues to fall in our region, making for slippery driving conditions and cancellations. Your top news headlines and the forecast still ahead.
Also, caring for those chompers. February is Pet Dental Health Month, and we'll get advice on how to keep those pearly whites in great shape. That's a little later in Pet Talk. Oh, look at that cutie. Those stories and more coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Oh my gosh, that is my dog in this snow. Big black lab, just having the best time of his life. In fact, he gets jealous when we're outside and we're clearing the snow. He is crying and whining inside because he wants to to be out. He wants to play, but it can be difficult because when we're shoveling, we do have a snowblower, but when we're shoveling, he wants the snow thrown at him.
Yes, it's like,
Yeah. You don't want to hit him in the face, though.
no.
Yeah,
No, he wants that, I think. No, not hit him with a shovel, but like put the snow on his face.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. We don't want to hit him in the face with the shovel. You just want to hit him in the face with the snow, but not the shovel.
I did that
that
once
would be
and
bad.
I learned. Poor dog. He was fine. But he loves it. But he barks, and I feel bad for our neighbors.
I just loved it in the images we showed of the dogs at the dog park in the snow. There was that one at the end, that kind of black or brown and white one, kind of a little bit overweight. It reminds me of our late girl. She got a little round and when she got about 13.
She got a lot of love.
She did.
She was enjoying herself.
Indeed.
You know, who doesn't like a treat?
Exactly. And well, many of us treating ourselves. If these snow days continue, we're going to have to get a new wardrobe. A lot of people.
I mean, no, by January is almost over, Crystal. Bye February.
That's right.
Oh,
DUI.
Okay, Amanda, you're cut off.
It's sweatpants February.
As we take a look here at Port de Grave this morning, some sunshine to start the day, and you might want to take in those conditions because you are going to be seeing some snow coming through. Yes, that nor'easter that has been impacting the Maritimes is heading over to Newfoundland and Labrador. For today, as we take a look here, pretty average type temperatures, a little bit cooler up in northern parts of New Brunswick, as well as into Labrador. Now, we do have the wind chill factors to take into consideration, so things feeling a little bit cooler than what those numbers are saying, especially in the Halifax area, Shelburne, as well as Kentville. So just make sure you are bundling up if you do head out and about today, especially if you're enjoying a snow day, because yes, it is another snow day across the region. Now, we do see those colder temperatures settling into Labrador because we do have an orange level alert in Labrador City for today. So we do have that weather statement still, prolonged snowfall, blowing snow through parts of Prince Edward Island for this morning. We do still have a couple of yellow alerts in effect. Those are going to be impacting into most of Nova Scotia. We're starting to see it lift a little bit as that system clears itself out. We're going to still see it hanging around throughout the course of this morning in parts of New Brunswick, as well as into Cape Breton and Prince Edward Island. Now, over in Newfoundland and Labrador, again, that cold warning in effect, that blowing snow advisory, as well as that snowfall warning, because again, that nor'easter heading into Atlantic waters continuing throughout the course of today. So that winter storm warning for today and into tonight could see up to 25 centimeters of snow with winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour. And yes, we still have that orange level cold alert for parts of Labrador, Labrador City, Wabush, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley. So do make sure you are bundling up. Of course, we'll have a full look at that weather coming up in just a bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda for your look at news.
Thank you so much, Brianne. And road conditions not ideal this morning as a slow-moving nor'easter continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. This is a look at conditions in Dartmouth Crossing before the sun was up this morning. Snowplows are continuing to try and stay ahead of the snowfall. All schools in Nova Scotia and PEI are closed today. And in New Brunswick, the bulk of the school closures are in southeastern parts of the province. Many university and college campuses, as well as government offices in the region, have delayed openings. Meantime, it's a busy but welcome time for those in the snow clearing business.
So far, like this year, it's been slow, but now that the weather's been picking up, because I do snow removal in the wintertime, so the more snow, the better for me. But I mean, I understand that's not the case for everybody else, right? But, you know, we all got to make a living.
And a reminder, a detailed list of closures and impacts can be found on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. One service that never closes is shelters. Here to tell us how shelters are faring in these winter conditions is Michelle Porter, the CEO of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. Good morning, Michelle. How are shelters looking this morning?
Good morning. Well, I'm not sure you're aware, but on Friday, we opened up 11 more shelter beds, and they just filled up like that. And so we are sleeping 44 people every night in Halifax at our shelter. A lot more are calling, a lot more are dropping in just to warm up, get some hot chocolate or a coffee. All 9 drop-in centers across the province are open for lunch, but also if someone is there and you need warm clothing, come on in, we'll help you out. We're running low on stocks. We have a supply, but there's so many people coming in with soaking wet feet. So we're replenishing that supply as often as possible.
What kind of socks would you need for donations? Would these be adult socks, men's socks?
Well, the best kind of socks in weather like this would be water repellent. And of course, that's the least amount that we have because they're quite expensive. So we prioritize giving those out. But of course, we'll just give them extra pairs to keep warm and dry.
You talked about those new beds. Is that a temporary measure or is that a new permanent measure? Because it does speak quite a bit to the need.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a permanent measure at our St. Pat's shelter in Halifax. So we're happy to be able to meet that need, but also, you know, us and other service providers, we're just struggling to find where we can house people in these kinds of conditions. I believe we helped 44 people overnight in our Soulsmobile with things like tents and food. Today, we've got 1,300 school meals that we'll be distributing to people to eat. So this is just a very intense time for my staff right now.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the schools because that's one thing that we tend to not think about when it comes to these school closures. Unfortunately, for some students in our region, schools are the place where they get shelter, they get food. Can you tell us a bit more about that work?
Well, every day we get the school leftovers, but during school closures, we will get several of the schools all the lunches so they don't go to waste. So while they are, it's unfortunate they're not going to who they were intended for, they're also going to people who have great need.
Okay, all right. And what do the shelters do when you are at capacity and you still have people coming in looking for help? What is the next step?
Well, we work with the authorities to find new spaces. We work with 211 Nova Scotia. We work with our drop-in centers in order to just say, hey, will you bring this guy in? He needs to warm up for a few hours. So we're pretty scrappy when it comes to cold weather.
Well, finally, very quickly, Michelle, how can people support?
Well, people can support through our, we're doing a winter survival kit right now. $50 provides a kit that we can give out complete with an emergency blanket for extra warmth.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle. Michelle Porter is the CEO of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. Thank you, Michelle, and good luck to you and your volunteers during the snowstorm.
Thank you.
To other news now. Nova Scotia is revamping the way its family doctor waitlist works and says it will connect patients to a healthcare provider more quickly.
Now, when someone contacts the registry for support to find a provider, the team discusses their personal circumstances and health concerns with them. This help ensures they can be added to the registry, have access to care options, and understand how Nova Scotia Health can support them.
Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the old list was just a static collection of names that didn't have much information about the patients or their health status. Now, when people join the list, health officials will speak with them about their needs, which the government says will provide better and faster care. There are almost 66,000 Nova Scotians on the wait list, down from more than 160,000 about 18 months ago. And in New Brunswick, the College of Physicians and Surgeons says a large number of doctors from Quebec are applying to practice in our region. Since October, there have been 126 applications from physicians in Quebec, and 24 licenses have been issued. Part of the reason is an ongoing labor dispute between doctors and the Quebec government. The situation has helped the Vitalité Health Network surpass its recruitment goal. Still, MLA Bill Hogan is still concerned about the Upper River Valley Hospital near Heartland, which is down to one surgeon.
They have posted a position for a second surgeon. I think they need to have a third surgeon. Anesthesiology is a big problem also. I mean, we're short anesthesiologists right across the board in the province.
Vitalité and Horizon are also on the hunt for space suitable for healthcare clinics. To that end, they are reaching out to real estate and property owners. Finally, if you need to do something while you're stuck inside during a snowstorm, New York's mayor has a suggestion, courtesy of a Nova Scotia author.
The snow is coming down heavily across our city, and I can think of no better excuse for New Yorkers to stay home, take a long nap, or take advantage of our public library's offer of free access to Heated Rivalry on ebook or audiobook for anyone with a library card.
I love the reaction from the very serious and important government officials behind him, laughing at that. Bit of a lighter moment, of course, at the briefing by New York's mayor. Of course, schools in New York City were closed because of this system. It's a huge storm that impacted New York. It's the biggest storm that that city has seen in 5 years, but the kids don't seem to mind it.
No.
I love that there was a government-ordered long nap. I could certainly go for that.
I could get on board for that.
Like, that's a platform to run on for a politician. I love that.
Should we take him up on that?
Anytime. Anytime.
That was wonderful. All right, let's ask a question right now. How many princes does it take to ride a scooter? Well, in this case, just one. Okay. It's Prince William. He's zipping around visiting the University of Bristol's Innovation Centre to check out some of the newest and latest tech. Now, Bristol is also home to a company which was a finalist for Prince William's Earthshot Prize. It makes a washing machine, get this, that can filter out microplastics. Oh. What a machine. So Bristol is gaining a reputation as an innovation hub in the UK.
You call that a scooter?
You didn't take it home.
You didn't wear a helmet.
No. Well, I think, yeah, it's true. So many questions unanswered here. But I think the point that I was trying to make is just that it's cool that these innovations that can really improve our lives are on their way.
Absolutely.
This is true. We just have our critical hats on. Okay, still ahead, we'll have your national news headlines. And also after the break, Brianne is back with the latest on the weather. Wow.
Yep.
Look at all the white stuff in St. John, New Brunswick. The forecast is coming up next.
Good morning, East Back Row. It is just turning 8:15. 8:45 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador, and that sun is shining, but those waves are also crashing because we are experiencing some wind continuing throughout the region for this morning. We will start to see that clear out a little bit later into today, but as we take a look here at our current temperatures, pretty average for this time of year, though there are some wind chill factors that we do have to take into consideration as we head throughout the day. Now, weather is brought to you by alc.ca. As we take a look here, we do still have one little weather statement in effect, so prolonged snowfall and blowing snow with an additional 5 centimeters of snow throughout this morning into the early hours of the afternoon for parts of Prince Edward Island. And yes, we do still have some yellow alerts in effect. So starting to clear out of Nova Scotia, the snowfall warning, an additional 2 to 15 centimeters, of course, possibly higher over the Highlands, where we'll continue to see this storm impacting throughout the course of today into the early hours of this evening. As we head over to Newfoundland and Labrador, that's where we're going to see the majority of this storm pushing through. Of course, the slow-moving nor'easter impacting into this part of Atlantic Canada for now. As we take a look here, winter storm warning, 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, with northwesterly winds blowing about 80 kilometers per hour for today and into tonight. Now, we do still have one orange alert in effect, so that is cold temperatures throughout Labrador, so wind chills between -40 to -46. So if you do have to get out and about, just make sure you're taking that into consideration because it's a cold one out there. So as we continue to watch this system, like I said, pushing through most of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick throughout the course of this morning, then we'll start to see things clear up, sunny skies entering into the region as we head throughout the afternoon here. Of course, it's still hanging around over in Newfoundland and Labrador. We will see a little bit of flurry action overnight into the early hours of Wednesday morning before things clear up once again. So again, mostly sunny skies for Wednesday as we head throughout the Maritimes. The majority of the snow is going to be accumulating over in Labrador. So as we take a look here, again, that's where we're going to see the majority of that snow coming through. Now, as we take a look here at our wind gusts, we are going to continue to see those throughout the course of this morning before things taper down a little bit into the early hours of the evening. As we head into Wednesday, we'll start to see things increasing once again as another low pressure system starts to get ready to move into the region starting on Thursday. But for today, as we take a look here, we're going to continue to see that snow clearing out. Pretty average type temperatures, though we will have to deal with some wind chill factors as we head throughout the day. Over on Prince Edward Island, again, pretty average. That snow starting to clear as we head throughout the early hours this morning. Snow sticking around over in parts of Cape Breton, but that sun starting to pop out throughout most of Nova Scotia for today. Again, some flurries hanging around throughout the course of this morning before clearing out this afternoon. Now over in Newfoundland and Labrador, that system is moving into this region, so make sure you are checking the weather, especially as you head out and about in Labrador City, where that cold warning is still in effect. And of course, we are continuing to have a winter storm watch in effect for most of Newfoundland. But let's head over to Amanda for your look at national and international headlines.
Thank you, Brianne. And it seems that one thing everyone can agree on these days is that the cost of living is a challenge. During the first parliamentary sitting of the new year, the opposition agreed to support the government's plan to increase the GST credit to help Canadians with food costs. CTV's Mike Lecouture has more on what that could mean for your household.
So we're acting today.
Choosing to be in a produce store instead of Parliament, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced new measures to tackle the affordability crisis. The Liberal government is renaming the GST credit the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit and raising it by 25% for 5 years. With an additional one-time payment this year, the average family of four will get nearly $2,000 in 2026 and $1,400 each of the following years. The measure is expected to help 12 million low-income Canadians.
On average, these payments make up for the higher level of food prices since the pandemic.
Carney also laid out a new national food security strategy to strengthen domestic food production and improve access to nutritious food. The Conservatives say the GST measures aren't new, but they'll support them.
The Prime Minister has revived a Trudeau-era rebate, which we'll let pass, that will barely cover a few trips to the grocery store.
The focus on pocketbook issues is a clear response to the #1 concern of Canadians, according to this pollster.
That's going to be the battleground for the next federal election, and it's going to be the key way that Canadians judge both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre.
With a campaign-style announcement today, it had some wondering if Canadians could be headed to the polls this spring.
Of course we're not. We're not. We're focused on results for Canadians.
The Conservatives say they'll back the GST boost as long as other spending isn't added on. The bill is expected to be tabled in the coming days. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
A former Canadian Olympic snowboarder has entered his plea in court after being arrested in Mexico City last week. Ryan Wedding has pleaded not guilty to running a billion-dollar drug trafficking ring and orchestrating multiple killings. A trial date has been set for March 24th. If he's convicted of the most serious charges, he could get life in prison. The 44-year-old also faces separate drug charges in Canada dating back to 2015. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll be talking about pet dental health. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It's 8:24 and almost February, because next month is Dental Health Month for pets. Proper oral care is an important part of keeping your pet healthy and happy, but many of us aren't sure what we should be doing. So joining us now from Pet Value is animal care expert Ariel McTavish. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning.
Great to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about pet dental care. I don't think people realize just how essential this is for dogs and cats.
Yeah, absolutely. So dental care, just like with us, is a really critical part for overall health. Dental disease itself can affect your heart, your kidneys, your liver. So it is really important not only as preventative care, but support as they age as well. 90% of cats have dental issues by the time they're 4. And for dogs, it's in the 70 to 80%.
That's amazing. Okay, fascinating. So let's take a look at what's going on with what you brought in. Let's begin here. This is the brushing of the pet's teeth. Now, yes. I am not sure how I would brush an animal's teeth.
There's a couple different options. So for my cats, you know how like cats will rub up on stuff? Yeah. So I hold their toothbrush horizontally and I put the toothpaste on it this way.
Yeah.
And I literally just hold it here. And because the toothpaste itself smells kind of chickeny, it's a little flavored, their default setting is to kind of rub up on it and it goes right in their mouth, and then both of them just bite right down on it. So I don't even need to stick it in and scrub it or anything. Whoa. They just get right in there.
Talk about a self-feeding cat. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, well, okay, well, maybe for dogs. So, I mean, we had a dog. We never brushed her teeth, mostly because I didn't know I had to, A, so thank you for this segment today, and B, she hated me touching her mouth in any way.
For sure. So a couple different options there. A lot of puppy classes are integrating clicker training now. So if you've been to puppy class or any training class and have any idea how a clicker works, using teeth brushing is a great way to make use of your clicker, because you can absolutely target train them onto a toothbrush. If that's not your thing, or if your dog is just very averse to having their teeth handled or their mouth handled, my personal dog is very sensitive in his mouth. There's a ton of different additives, chews, things you can mix into their food that will all help kind of manage that plaque.
This, for example, this stuff called plaque off. Yeah. Probably works. It's pretty self-explanatory, but that goes in the animal's food and
so
get rid of the plaque.
This one here is a chew, and then there's also a powder option. So it really, again, depends on the individual dog. Some are more susceptible to things in their food, not a fan. Some of them prefer a chew, so it really just kind of depends on what works for the individual animal.
Perfect. I asked her if you used it, meaning for Bear. She said, not personally,
not for
but
me.
I do it for my dog.
Bear does use it, yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of these other items that can be too supportive.
For sure. So we have lots of different dental chews. These ones here are veggie-based, and they're just nice and hard, and they have a bit of texture on them, so they help get up in and around the gum line, give them a scrub. These ones here are a little bit longer and a little bit longer lasting. They are minty fresh, so they do leave a little bit of minty flavor on their teeth. I do use these ones with Bear. And then if you've got puppies or dogs with sensitive teeth, synthetic chews that are a little bit more malleable but still get up in those gum lines and are in between the teeth, will help make it a little bit easier for them while being gentle on their gums.
Okay, we're pretty much out of time, but let's talk quickly about the food you brought in.
For sure. So if all of these things are not working for you or you need a backup support, then dental kibble is always an option as well. It's larger, it's cooked a little bit longer, so it's a bit harder. Helps encourage the chewing process.
Perfect. Okay, last question before we go in. I know it's going to be a quick answer because we're pretty much out of time. But how can you tell if your pet might actually need a little dental care?
For sure. So if they're picking their food up and dropping it is a really common one. Cats will sometimes avoid their food altogether. Pawing at the mouth, excessive drooling, those are all kind of red flags that you want to get in and get checked out.
All right, Ariel, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And we put a link to Pet Values information so you can find out more about pet dental care. Now we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with to wrap up the show. Oh, actually, first we have time for 3 days. So, Brianne, what's going on in the weather?
Well, good thing you asked, Crystal, because we are still seeing a few flurries hanging around while we get rid of that nor'easter moving through our region. We will continue to see some sun popping through, however, as we head throughout the day today into Wednesday. We'll see some more sunshine, a few flurries in the early hours of Wednesday morning, but mostly clear skies. And then into Thursday, we'll see that sun coming through again. Over in Nova Scotia, some of that snow hanging around, especially in Cape Breton for the parts of the afternoon. We'll see highs of -7, overnight lows of -13, and a few flurries in eastern parts of Nova Scotia coming through in the early hours of Wednesday morning before we see some sun shining through for Wednesday and into Thursday. Over on Prince Edward Island, a few of those flurries hanging around throughout the course of today. Could see some of those linger in the early hours of Wednesday, but mostly sunshine. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Still ahead this morning, snow day. There's a whole lot of fresh powder on the ground, so we decided to send our own Brianne Foley out with a camera after yesterday's show to see how people were coping with the latest blast of winter. We're going to bring you that segment coming up here in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic Canada. 8:32, 9:02 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. Just like that, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, gosh, so time did fly today.
Right?
Yeah.
This is, now I've gotten used to the 3 hours, and it just like, it feels like 2 hours.
Yeah, it does. It
you're
rips
used to it. You certainly do. And Brianne, of course, was out in the elements yesterday. No surprise, Latavia was very much under the weather while doing the weather. So now we have Brianne inside doing the weather, and later we're going to show you outside in the weather.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot going on.
You need a Venn diagram
exactly.
to follow where in the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Well, it is nice. I did go out for a nice walk yesterday afternoon with my husband, and it felt great to be out. It did. I mean, we were one direction we were pelted with snow in our face, the other direction not so much, but it still felt good to be out. Like if you can get out, I would recommend it.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, you do have to be careful on the roads because they are a little bit slippery. Same with the sidewalks as well, right? Yeah. We did experience that a little bit yesterday, but look at that. That sun's coming through.
It's beautiful.
I did promise that earlier today. I'm just kidding. We don't make any promises with weather. But I did say that sun was coming through as the system moves out of our region and hangs around into Newfoundland and parts of Labrador for today, but we are going to continue to see some of that sunshine, especially in the Maritimes. But as we take a look here at our current temperatures, pretty average for this time of year, but we do have wind chill factors in effect. So do make sure you are seeing what the temperature feels like to you outside. Bundle up regardless. It's going to be better for you if you just make sure you're wearing those hats and gloves and scarves, especially if you are out in Labrador, because we are seeing some cooler temperatures up there as well as we continue to see an orange statement in effect for parts of that area. So we do still have one weather statement in effect for long snowfall and blowing snow for parts of Prince Edward Island. And yes, we still are under yellow alerts in some areas, mostly over in Newfoundland and Labrador. We still have a little bit of that snowfall warning continuing throughout the course of this morning for parts of Nova Scotia, as well as parts of Prince Edward Island and the southern portion of New Brunswick. But again, the majority of those alerts are going to be over in Newfoundland and Labrador as we continue to see that nor'easter impacting that region. So cold weather, blowing snow, snowfall, all of the things you have in order to have a snow day. We are watching a winter storm come through as well for the majority of Newfoundland. So again, something to consider if you do have to go out and about today. Just make sure you're taking your time and giving yourself lots of space to get out and about. Over up in Labrador, we still have an orange alert level of cold, and that is because we are seeing wind chills between -40 and -46. So that is frostbite territory. Make sure you are bundling up if you do have to go out, and if you don't have to go out, why not just stay inside? I'll have more on your weather in just a bit, but for now, let's head over to Amanda for your local news headlines.
Thank you so much, Brianne. And we begin with developing news this hour. Weather conditions have deteriorated at Halifax Stanfield International Airport. In a social media post issued just before 8 a.m., Halifax Stanfield revealed it has temporarily suspended aircraft operations. That is until airfield conditions improve. In the post, the airport asks for patience and also encourages passengers to check in directly with their airline for the latest flight information. Now on the water in North Sydney, morning ferry crossings are canceled. As for the evening, Marine Atlantic says crossings for now are still a go, but they may be canceled later due to weather conditions. On the roads, driving remains very tricky this morning as this slow-moving nor'easter just continues to dump snow throughout Atlantic Canada. Here's a look at conditions in Dartmouth Crossing this morning before the sun was up as snow plows tried to stay ahead of the snowfall. All schools in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island are closed today. In New Brunswick, the bulk of the school closures are in southeastern parts of the province. Many university campuses and government offices in the region have delayed openings today. Meantime, it is a busy but somewhat welcome time for those in the snow clearing business.
So far, like this year, it's been slow, but now that the weather's been picking up, because I do snow removal in the wintertime, so the more snow, the better for me. But I mean, I understand that's not the case for everybody else, right? But, you know, we all got to make a living.
A detailed list of closures can be found on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, and Brianne will have one last look at the forecast coming up next. In New Brunswick this morning, highways are snow covered and drifting snow is impacting visibility. For much of the region, as we know, travel's been an issue due to this system. In St. John, the city's arsenal of 35 street plows and 11 sidewalk blowers have been pushing powder since the first flakes fell. The length of the storm and the cold temperatures is resulting in a unique challenge for plow operators.
Salt works to about minus 10 degrees Celsius, and we get temperatures below that. So we've had to switch to more of a salt sand mix. And it's going to take a bit longer for that salt to activate to get right down to bare pavement.
That means even if the streets appear clear, drivers should take extra caution with the conditions. To other news, Nova Scotia is revamping the way its family doctor waitlist works and says it will connect patients to a healthcare provider more quickly.
Now, when someone contacts the registry for support to find a provider, the team discusses their personal circumstances and health concerns with them. This help ensures they can be added to the registry, have access to care options, and understand how Nova Scotia Health can support them.
Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the old list was just a static collection of names that didn't have much information about the patients or their health status. Now when people join the list, health officials will speak with them about their needs, which the government says will provide better and faster care. There are almost 66,000 Nova Scotians on the wait list. That's down from more than 160,000 about 18 months ago. And in New Brunswick, the College of Physicians and Surgeons says a large number of doctors from Quebec are applying to practice in our region. Since October, there have been 126 applications from physicians in Quebec, and 24 licenses have been issued. Part of the reason is an ongoing labor dispute between doctors and the Quebec government. The situation has helped the Vitalité Health Network surpass its recruitment goal. Still, MLA Bill Hogan is concerned about the Upper River Valley Hospital near Heartland, which is down to one surgeon.
They have posted a position for a second surgeon. I think they need to have a third surgeon. Anesthesiology is a big problem also. I mean, we're short anesthesiologists right across the board in the province.
Vitalité and Horizon are also on the hunt for space suitable for healthcare clinics. To that end, they're reaching out to real estate and property owners. Finally, the two co-stars of the hit Crave series, Heated Rivalry, traded in their skates for torches. I mean, that's a different kind of flame between them. Connor Story and Hudson Williams participated in the Olympic torch relay in Italy. The two play professional hockey stars who have a secret relationship. And of course, the Olympic Games, they begin on February 6th, less than 2 weeks from now.
I want to be able to hold a torch.
For sure. Look how happy he is. He's in his glory.
He is.
Just like the positive attention these guys are getting around the globe is so exciting.
Also, imagine being able to take those torches like in historic buildings like in Milan.
So cool. So cool. He gets to also keep the outfit too, which is awesome.
Oh,
I know.
That is
it Lululemon?
cool.
Or
I'm not sure what the Italy supplier was. We can look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, so many questions.
Maybe it's Valentino in honor of Valentino.
That would be amazing. All right, if the idea of trolls scares you, definitely don't visit this nature park in North Carolina.
Like online trolls?
No, this kind of trolls.
Those ones.
A Danish expert named Thomas Dambo crafted a series of giant trolls now on display at the North Carolina Arboretum, but you can interact with the trolls. Each of the sculptures is handcrafted out of fallen branches, wooden pallets, and twigs, and people are encouraged to interact with each troll and hopefully better appreciate the importance of protecting nature.
I feel like trolls are misunderstood.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, my parents, they collect those.
So then
and I hate them.
Here.
Sorry, I shouldn't say hate. I strongly dislike them. They're not for me.
I remember as a kid.
They're better than clowns.
I kind of wish I still had it. This thing, it was like a troll on the end of a pencil with really long hair, and then you go, and their hair would fly out.
I had those too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want one
also,
of those.
like the trolls with like the big hair up, and then they had like the little star on their belly or the heart, or like trolls are the best.
They sing and dance.
There you go. All right. For some reason, the control room wants us to move on to community calendar. I don't understand.
All right. Well, we have lots going on in our region, so of course that's why they want us to move on. Grand Batouche celebrates winter with family activities, so festive evenings and unforgettable moments for all from January 28th until February 1st. Enjoy games, tournaments, snowflake trail, music, hot chocolate bar, and so much more. To get additional details, of course, you can head to the website on our screen or visit their Facebook page. And over in Prince Edward Island, public skating. So what a time to be alive. Pull out those skates and hit the ice in Charlottetown. There are many indoor and outdoor rinks to enjoy. Head to the city's website to learn more. Good day for it, in fact. And over in Halifax, head to the Neptune Theatre to escape the cold. Mad Maj takes the stage from now until February 8th. And this is a comedy that is loosely based on history, a celebration of a wild woman who never settled for anything less than achieving her dreams. I know that feeling. Ooh. Tickets on sale at their website, of course, and for their full lineup, you can head to their website as well. And if you have an event coming up, well, we want to hear about it. So send us an email to yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca, and we will do our best to get it in the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good morning, Burncoat Head. 846, 916 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And we're starting to see conditions settle down a little bit in our region. That sun is trying to make its way out, and that's pretty much what we're going to see throughout the course of today. So still having a couple flurries lingering, especially in parts of Cape Breton as well as parts of Prince Edward Island. But as we take a look at temperatures right now, pretty average for this time of year, except for up in Labrador, a little cold, and we do have some warnings to talk about up there. Now, we do have a little bit of a statement left for parts of Prince Edward Island, prolonged snowfall, some blowing snow as well, additional 5 centimeters. That should be clearing out throughout the course of this morning into the early hours of the afternoon, although we do still have some yellow weather alerts left in the region. So as we take a look here, we do have that snowfall alert still for most of Nova Scotia, as well as the southern portion of New Brunswick and into Prince Edward Island. Could see up to 15 centimeters of snow, possibly more through the highlands into the afternoon, with winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. Over in Newfoundland and Labrador, we are seeing that cold warning in effect, that wind chill values between -31 to -42. That should ease throughout the day, but still in effect for this warning. We have a blowing snow advisory as well as a snowfall warning in effect with up to 25 centimeters. Now, as we take a look here, winter storm warning, 15 to 25 centimeters of snow with northwesterly winds blowing up to 80 kilometers per hour. That's going to be in effect for today and into tonight. And then, yes, we still have that orange level alert for cold weather, wind chills between -40 to -46 up in Labrador City, Wabash, Churchill Falls, and Churchill Valley. So just make sure you take that into consideration if you do have to head out today. Now, as we take a look here at the weather system, it is pushing itself into Newfoundland and Labrador, clearing up throughout most of the Maritimes for today. We are going to see a few scattered flurries, especially along that Bay of Fundy coastline tonight into the early hours of tomorrow morning before things clear out. We should see some sun shining through there once again. As we take a look here at our accumulated snowfall for the next 24 hours, well, just mostly trace amounts. We are seeing an additional 1 to 5 centimeters throughout central and western parts of Nova Scotia, as well as into Cape Breton. And then, of course, the majority of that snowfall is going to be hanging around in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, watching our wind gusts, we start to see those taper off a little bit into tonight and tomorrow morning, but then they start to pick up again into Wednesday as we see another low pressure system kind of move into the region for Thursday and Friday. For today, a few scattered flurries remaining, but mostly that sun is going to be popping out. Again, wind chill factors are going to be in effect. As we take a look at Prince Edward Island, that should clear out through the course of this morning into the early hours of the afternoon. We're still going to see some snow hanging around through parts of Cape Breton, but that sun shining throughout most of Nova Scotia for today while that system clears itself out. And of course, it's colder temperatures up in Labrador, as well as that snowfall warning for parts of Newfoundland. So since yesterday was a snow day, I decided why not figure out what people are doing in Halifax. Let's take a look.
Centimeters of snow falling between Sunday night and Monday morning, a snow day was in full effect for the Maritimes.
All right, so why are you here right now?
Trying to make some money.
Fair enough. So do you always help on snow days?
Yeah.
So when you have time off school, this is what you're going to do with your time?
Yeah.
Why?
Make some money, save up. Yeah.
Do you mind the cold?
Not really.
No. How many driveways do you normally do?
Usually like around 4 or 5 people, but yeah.
Amazing. So with this continuous snow, that's good for your pocket. That's good for your bottom line?
Yeah.
Are you saving for anything specific?
Yeah.
What are you saving for?
Saving up for a car.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Keep up the good work, guys.
From earning their way to a car to earning their way to play, everyone seemed to be enjoying the morning.
Yeah, I feel like you should just go regularly.
Okay, snow day. How are you going to be spending it?
Sleep, rest.
And?
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Tobogganing.
Yeah.
Why is it so fun to have a snow day, especially on a Monday?
There's no school. There's no school. That's a W point. And also, we just get an extra day of rest, I guess, most likely.
Why are you guys out here so early doing some tobogganing? Because it's fresh snow?
Yeah. We were forced to. Not really. No, not really. I was forced to. No, like we got out so we can shovel our the front way, and then we just went here.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, enjoy. Happy snow day, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
And for those adults looking for their snow day, well, it wasn't a bad day for that either.
Is it a snow day for you today?
Absolutely. And is there a better way to spend a snow day in Nova Scotia than out shoveling?
So what is your plan for today then?
I'm actually planning to take it a little bit easy, clean up the driveway a little bit, and then I think I'm going to put my feet up, have a nice coffee, and read for a little bit.
I love that.
Take it nice and easy.
Yeah, you are a genius, and you're using a broom to wipe off your car. Where did that come from?
I don't know. We've always done it as a family because it's just so far to reach. So we have an outside broom, so we've always used it to clean the windshield and the top of the car so that we, when we hit the road, you can actually see where you're going.
Fair enough. And you're not mad about a snow day?
Oh, no, not at all. I think it's great. I love it a lot.
Well, enjoy, and we hope you get that good cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. This is the time we share your text messages for the Move Morning Chat. So we were talking about how do you embrace a snow day. A lot of people sent us some beautiful photos of them out walking, peaceful walks, walks with their dogs. Couldn't turn every photo around, but wanted to show you a few of them. So Christine from Conroy Valley, Newfoundland says, my favorite snow day activity is snowshoeing with friends, and she has the pictures to prove it. This will make you want to go outside and embrace the elements. Look how stunning that is. And the next one, you can see.
Newfoundland is amazing.
Newfoundland. And that's the thing. I remember one year, you couldn't, and there's puffins, you couldn't go snowshoeing because we didn't get enough snow.
Oh, those are big snowshoes.
You know, seize the day.
Good ones.
I'm here for that.
Pat from Timberley says, I'd rather be playing in the snow, but these days I prefer working on a jigsaw puzzle in my nice warm kitchen. That does sound lovely, fair. Pat.
Sure.
A lot of people like to stay nice and cozy. Look at this. If you don't like the winter, you can do some glamping. Ooh. This is what Brandon does, and you can too. This is Pebs by the Sea. It's glamping on the on Cape Sable Island.
Okay.
And it's actually named in memory of his mom, Prudence Elizabeth Blades.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I guess it's dog friendly because this is Mika, who also enjoys some glamping.
I mean, I'm right there with Mika. I would glamp in a
That
heartbeat.
seems amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I looked it up. I'm like, hello, that looks like really nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Glamping over camping for sure.
Glamping over camping.
Imagine being all cozy in that dome and everything.
And then the snow falling perfectly and just like having a hot cup of cocoa.
Yes. And I'm with Pat about the doing the fun stuff inside, but I'm going to take a note from the lady who is shoveling out and then cozied up inside.
Yes.
I feel like a little more cozy if I go out and kind of tame the day by getting out in the weather and then
And then it like works as a workout too.
Yeah.
And then you don't feel so bad and you're like, okay, I don't have to leave my house now.
Exactly.
Sounds like a win.
It's true. Coming up later in the day when I get home, I'll be greeted by my son who'll be excited to play out in the snow.
Yay!
Build me a snowman.
Yeah, we'll do a snowman. It's nice light snow too, though.
And little big snowman. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you do take a picture, show us tomorrow.
Keep you posted. All right, enjoy your snow day. Bye.